We all wear masks to the world. But deep down, beneath the layers of performance and validation, there lies a wound, an abyss of self-betrayal, self-doubt, and an agonizing fear. You've felt it, haven't you? That gnawing in your gut when you realize that the life you're living is not your own. When the dreams you've buried cry out in dark whispers, demanding to be seen. You stand at the precipice of your potential, eyes wide, heart pounding. But still, you hesitate. You question. You stall. You want to step forward, to embrace the greatness that lurks just beneath the surface, yet you remain shackled by the chains of comparison and fear. Why? Because you're terrified, not of failure, but of success. You fear the unfamiliar terrain of your own power, the echoes of your past self calling out, warning you of the change that is coming. You think that saying yes to everyone will lead to connection. You've done it countless times, haven't you? Agreeing to plans that drain your soul, bending over backward to meet the demands of others, perpetually available, yet perpetually empty. You smile and nod, swallowing your truth, convinced that your worth lies in compliance, but that's just it, the illusion. The seductive lie that being constantly available and pleasing leads to genuine connection. You remember that moment you said yes to a friend's unsought request, feeling that familiar twinge of dread as you compromised your own needs just to avoid rejection. In that moment, you sacrificed your essence on the altar of approval. You thought it would bring you closer, yet it pushed you further into a void of disconnection. Here's the brutal truth. Real connection begins when you respect yourself enough to say no. When you draw that line in the sand, not out of spite, but from love, for yourself. You're not just a vessel for other people's expectations. You are a sovereign being, and it's time you reclaim your throne. Dive deeper, and you'll find the deceptive mirage of emotional safety. You've convinced yourself that by abandoning your boundaries, you're creating a safe space for others. But what you're really doing is depleting your essence. Emotional safety is an illusion built on the fragile foundations of self-abandonment. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But how can you become who you are when every day feels like a surrender to the desires of others?" You lose sight of your true self, the vibrant core that pulses with life and potential, slipping further away into the shadows of your psyche. It's a slow, sinister erosion. The cost of emotional safety leaving you hollow. You're not just chasing acceptance, you're sacrificing your soul. You must confront the unbearable truth. The longer you cling to that illusion, the further you drift from the person you were meant to be. The moment you take a step back and honor your boundaries is the moment you begin to truly live. The darkest illusion of all is that by staying endlessly available, you can control how others perceive you, mold their opinions of you like clay. You think that by sacrificing your authenticity, you'll create a favorable image. But here's the knife that cuts through that delusion. In the process, you lose yourself. The truth is, true power comes from internal boundaries, not from the desperate need for external validation. You thought you were protecting yourself, but in reality, you were just a puppet in the grand theater of expectations. You've played your role so well that you've lost sight of the script you were meant to write. Now, stand up. Cut those strings. It's time to reclaim your voice and truth. You don't need more healing. You need to stop lying about who you are. True liberation lies not in control, but in the fierce acceptance of your authentic self. Picture this, the sacred act of setting a boundary. Imaginary cords that once tangled your soul, now severed. You stand alone in your truth, a warrior emerging from the ashes of self-doubt. Here, the silence is intoxicating, the air thick with the scent of liberation. Embrace this moment. The choice to reclaim your essence is irreversible, sacred. You are shedding the skin of the past, transforming into who you were always meant to be. In this ritual of individuation, you strip away the roles, the masks, the illusions. You don't need more healing. You need to own your narrative, to confront the painful reality of who you are without the fear of judgment. You never lost control. You gave it away. The first time you say no and feel the weight of relief, the heaviness lifts, and suddenly you breathe easier. A deep breath after cutting the emotional cord. Solid. You feel the ground beneath you, a reminder that you are unshakable. The quiet of a morning, standing alone in your peace. No noise, no chaos, just you and your truth, finally aligned. Don't keep this. Send it to the person still handing away their power, to everyone but themselves. This is not just a message, it's a confrontation. We are not here to soothe pain or provide comfort. We are here to unveil the truth that lies beneath the surface, waiting to be acknowledged. You cannot be a prisoner of your own potential any longer. The silent war within you rages on, but it's time to choose. Will you step into your power, or will you continue to hide behind the walls of comfort and familiarity? Make your choice. Embrace the discomfort of growth. Trust your potential. You were never meant to be small. You were born to shine, to transform, to become who you were always meant to be. You stand at a crossroads, a battleground within your soul, with two opposing forces vying for your allegiance. One side whispers the seductive promise of comfort, of staying small, of being the person others expect you to be. The other, the force that knows what you are capable of, urges you to break free, to step into the vast, terrifying unknown of your true self. You feel the tug of war within you, each side pulling you in different directions, each side steeped in the shadows of your past. But listen closely. The voice of your potential, the one that knows the greatness you possess, grows louder with each moment you pause in contemplation. It knows that growth is often painful, that transformation requires shedding the skin of who you were. But it also knows that the pain of remaining stagnant is far worse. The illusions that bind you are not your allies. They are the chains that keep you in a cage of mediocrity. You know this, yet doubt creeps in like a thief in the night. You question your worth, your abilities, and the very essence of who you are. The fear of stepping into your greatness often feels more daunting than the failures you've already faced. You think of the struggles that lie ahead, the discomfort of change, the potential rejection from those who have grown comfortable with the version of you that exists only to please. But what is success, if not a shedding of the old? What is greatness, if not a confrontation with your own fears? Transformation isn't about being ready or having all the answers. It's about trusting yourself, about stepping into your own skin and boldly declaring, "I am here." It's an act of rebellion against the comfortable lies that have kept you shackled. And here's the catch. The discomfort you feel is not a sign of danger. It's a signal that you are on the brink of something magnificent. You must confront the truth. Self-sabotage is your defense mechanism against the greatness that lies within. You delay your growth, rationalize your inaction, and ultimately, resist stepping into the power that is meant for you. You fear what it means to change, to evolve into someone you may not recognize. It's terrifying, isn't it? To think that the person you've been is but a shadow of your true potential. But I urge you to look deeper. That fear of becoming more powerful than you've ever been is rooted in your past, the experiences that taught you to stay small, to blend in, to avoid conflict. You've been conditioned to believe that greatness is reserved for others, that it's not for you. But why? Who told you that you couldn't? Who instilled that belief so deeply in your psyche that you now accept it as an undeniable truth? This is the wound that must be addressed. As you embark on this journey of self-discovery and growth, you will encounter pushback. Those around you, the ones accustomed to your smaller self, may resist the changes. They prefer the version of you that fit neatly into their lives, the one that didn't challenge their comfort. But remember, this is part of the process. Your evolution may stir insecurities in others, creating waves of discomfort in relationships, but that doesn't mean you should retreat. Living authentically requires courage. You are not merely making a choice for yourself. You are creating a ripple effect, breaking chains not just for you, but for those around you. Your bravery in stepping into your truth can illuminate paths for others who feel similarly trapped. You can inspire them to question their own chains, to consider what lies beyond their comfort zones, to embrace their potential. But let's be clear, this will not be easy. The journey toward becoming who you were always meant to be is laden with obstacles, and there will be times when you falter. There will be moments when the shadows loom large, when self-doubt creeps back in, whispering the lies you fought to unearth. In those moments, remember this: your fear is a messenger, not an enemy. It signifies that you are on the verge of breaking free. The act of embracing your potential requires not just acknowledging your fears, but facing them head-on. You are the architect of your own reality. The stories you tell yourself shape your journey, and you have the power to rewrite them. It's time to stop negotiating with fear and start living in alignment with your authentic self. You will stumble, you will feel the weight of your choices, but each misstep is an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn and pivot. Trust the process. Trust that you are evolving, that the discomfort is a sign of transformation, not a pitfall. Embrace the discomfort. It is not a signal to retreat, but an invitation to expand. Living in alignment with your true potential is not about perfection. It's about embracing your whole self, every scar and flaw, every triumph and failure. It's about standing in your truth, even when it feels like the ground beneath you is shaking. The path of growth is not linear. It is a maze filled with twists and turns, yet every step you take toward your authenticity is a step toward liberation. It's time to confront the reality that many will not understand your journey. They will not comprehend why you're no longer willing to play the roles they've assigned you. That is their battle, not yours. Your responsibility is to honor your truth, to forge your path unapologetically. Your journey is yours alone, and it is sacred. As you grow, the landscape of your relationships may shift. Some will celebrate your growth, while others may feel threatened. Honor those feelings, but don't let them dictate your journey. Understand that you are carving a path of authenticity, breaking the chains that have held you captive for far too long. As you step into your power, you will inspire others to do the same. Your courage can ignite a spark in those who have long settled for less, encouraging them to confront their own limitations and rise above. Living authentically is an act of radical bravery, a commitment to yourself and to the world around you. So, take a breath. The world awaits the brilliance that only you can offer. In the silence that follows your declaration of self, you may find the answers you've been seeking. It's time to own your narrative, to stop shrinking in the face of discomfort, and to embrace the beauty that lies in your power. You are not just stepping into your greatness, you are becoming the catalyst for change. The journey is yours, and it begins now.